One was getting ready in front of the mirror when she received a call from her best friend. On the call, Lisa, when are you ready? Lisa, okay, I'm heading there, you come soon. When? Okay. She cuts the call and grabs her purse, stepping out of the room. She informs the maid that she is going out to inform Taehyung if he comes. When driver just stop here. When has arrived at an orphanage and Lisa is waiting her for there. Lisa, when you have arrived. When not, and she sat on a chair. In front of her there was a lady sitting who is in charge of this orphanage. Miss Hari, when thank you so much for coming to help the children of this orphanage. When I would also be happy to help, Miss Hari, if we can use some of our money to provide education and improve the health care of the children in this orphanage, I will definitely do it. Lisa, Miss Hari, the building has become quite old and there's such a small playground here. How will the children play? Why, yes, Miss Hari, I feel the same way. Perhaps we should renovate this place, Miss Hari, but when it requires a lot of money for that, so the funds we receive are used for the children's expenses. When it's okay, I will also contribute money for the renovation of this place. When I will talk to my husband about it. Miss Hari, thank you, Wine. After discussing with Miss Hari, Lisa and Wine spent some time playing with the children and gave them gifts. Lisa, Wine, this is too much money. Lisa is still processing the amount of money Wine is planning to spend on the orphanage. Wine, Lisa, I know it seems like a lot to you, but believe me, this means nothing to Taehyung and me. Taehyung is the biggest businessman in this country. He has a lot of money in his bank. Wine said and Lisa giggled. Lisa, Wine, are you okay? Wine and Lisa were heading towards a car when Wine started feeling dizzy. Wine, I don't feel well, Lisa. I think I might have a fever. Lisa touched her hand, confirming that Wine indeed has a fever. She helped Wine into the car. At hospital, Doctor, congratulations, Mrs. Kim, you are going to be a mother. Doctor says. Wine and Lisa look at each other, then tightly hug. Lisa, Doctor is Wine. Doctor, yes, Wine is feeling weak because of this, but don't worry, I will prescribe some medicine. Later on, Lisa dropped Wine off the home and instructed me to make a soup for Wine. Wine had been trying to call them because he usually comes home. Lisa, Wine, I will go now, take care of yourself. She says. They hugged before she left. Afterwards, Wine turns on the TV and turns to a news channel. Her full attention is on the TV when she hears her husband saying, I have gone to their quarters after finishing the chorus and the other two maids are in the kitchen. One increases the volume of the TV and watches intently, realizing why her husband isn't answering the phone. Suddenly she feels weak and unwell. A high fever strikes her. One's health was deteriorating and she felt dizzy. She wanted to sleep, however she couldn't sleep without them, and she was traumatized by thought in her dream. That's why she took one of Taehyung's shirts from the closet and hugged it as she tried to sleep. Meanwhile, Taehyung in court. Judge, based on all evidence, it is proven that Mr. Kim's Taehyung company was involved in fraudulent activities. This allegation are true. His company has misled investors and lied to the public. Because of all this reason, this court has ordered to the closure of Mr. Taehyung's company for 7 years. After hearing this, Taehyung's sons were numbed. He couldn't believe that his case had gone this way. Taehyung and his company was sentenced due to false accusation and evidence, a crime they had never committed. Just this morning, Taehyung's company went completely bankrupt and he didn't have a single penny left. After this court verdict, broken, but he couldn't break down in front of everyone. This company built on his dad's hard work has now come to an end. Everyone now hates him. Mr. Han, Taehyung, let's go now. Mr. Han is a former employee of Taehyung's company, having worked there since Taehyung's father's time. After Mr. Kim's death, he became Taehyung's right-hand man. He also knows that Taehyung has been framed. Mr. Lihari, Taehyung, come Taehyung, today your true place has been revealed, hasn't it? Taehyung didn't say anything. He tried to control his anger. Mr. Lee here is one behind all this. He and Mr. Kim had a long-standing enmity and rivalry, with Mr. Lee Hyori consistently leveling allegations against Mr. Kim's company. Success because Mr. Kim died, Taehyung became the new CEO, and at that time Taehyung had hired new employees and new manager for his company. The manager's name is Taehyung. He had gained a lot of trust from Taehyung, but no one knew that there was a snake under Taehyung's lip, and that was Taehyung. Because of him, Taehyung had gone bankrupt today, and the false allegations against him have led to the court order to shut down the company. Mr. Lee Hurry, it's a good thing Mr. Kim isn't alive today, or he would have a heart attack seeing his son's action. Mr. Lihari, drop your attitude, Taehyung. You are worthless now. No one will give you a job. I remember what about your queen wife? She loves to spend money everywhere, right? My poor baby's wife. How will she survive now? Don't worry. We can offer her like a maid. Taehyung punches his nose and grabbed his collar. Taehyung, you, how dare you say anything about it? He punches Mr. Lihari again, causing blood to flow from his nose and lip. Taehyung punches him once more before the media camera focuses on them. Before the police arrive, Mr. Han and Taehyung's lawyers start pulling him away from the scene. However, Taehyung continues to yell at him. Mr. Han, Taehyung, you should go home now. Taehyung doesn't say anything and gets out of the car. He enters the house, his eyes searching for you, but you are not there. Usually you wait for Taehyung, either sitting on the couch watching TV or reading a book. Then Taehyung remembered that he come home late. Today he wasn't cold. He hears a noise coming from the kitchen, thinking you are there. He goes there, but you are not. Maid 1, Taehyung, she will arrive when she said to give you dinner as soon as you come. Taehyung, where is mine? Did she have dinner? Maid 2, so when ma'am come with Lisa ma'am, she did the same bell. Lisa ma'am asked us to make out for her, and then when ma'am fell asleep, she is in her room. Taehyung nods and heads toward the room. Taehyung enters the room and his eyes fall on you, the person he missed the most. Taehyung knows how much he wants to cry in your arms, burying his head in your chest, but he can't do that in front of the world. All Taehyung needs is your comfort. You will hug him tightly and say, Taehyung, everything will be alright, even though Taehyung knows that nothing can be fixed. Wine was lying on a bed with a blanket up to her neck. Taehyung approaches her and gently removes some of the blanket from her face. Wine's cheek was red and she was holding onto Taehyung's shirt. Taehyung touches her cheeks and notices that she has a high fever. Taehyung goes to the door. When his eyes fall on a piece of paper, at first he ignored it, but when he sees the word hospital written on it, he grabs the paper and reads it, tears welling up in his eyes. I'm going to be dead, he whispered through tears, looking at Wine for the smell. He pulls the paper casually and takes out the medicine placed beside it. Taehyung, Wine, here's the medicine. You have a high fever. He shakes her gently and she slowly opens her eyes. Taehyung gives Wine water and medicine in a glass, and she does what Taehyung tells her to do. Taehyung was very tired, so without taking a shower and removing his shirt, he laid down next to Wine. He knows she can't sleep without him, so she had slept with his shirt because of that. Taehyung places his hand on her waist and pulls her closer. Her hair, he pulls the blanket up to her head, and from inside the blanket he carries her waist. Wine's heart was beating fast. Taehyung wanted to tell her everything that happened today with him, and Wine also wanted to give him good news, but she was feeling very weak. Wine, Taehyung, I want to tell you something, she says softly. Taehyung, I also want to say something, but we will talk in the morning. Taehyung, your heartbeat is so loud. He smiled. Wine, how it is. Taehyung, peaceful. Wine smiled against his chest. Next day, they'll wake up and realize you're not in bed. He sits up and looked over the window. Where you were standing, you had taken a shower and were wearing another shirt. They'll look at the clock and his eyes widen. He woke up late. He removed the blanket and stand up. Then reality hit him that he doesn't have to go to the office anymore. He looked at you, still staring at the window, lost in deep thought, holding a cup of tea. Then approached her and gave her a back hug, placing his hand on one's waist. One clenched one tongue and touched her, but then she lets him do what he was doing. One placed her cup on the nearby table and turned toward Taehyung, placing both hands on his neck. Taehyung, how are you feeling now? Wine, I'm okay. Taehyung rests his hand on her shoulder and hugged her tightly, while Wine carries his back. Wine, it's okay, dear. Everything will be fine today or tomorrow. Tears start to fill Taehyung's eyes and one shoulder become wet. Taehyung, Dad used to feel proud of me, but I have let his name down. Why not, Taehyung? I know you are not at fault. It's all lies. Taehyung, thank you, One. One break her wipe his tear from his cheek. One, now it's my turn to give you some good news. She tries to cheer him up and he gave her a wide smile knowing what good news she is about to give. Taehyung, thank you for giving me another peaceful and precious life, he said softly, smiling. Last night One had left a paper from the hospital on the bedside table instead of the medicine, which mentioned her. So when Taehyung came home distraught last night, he could sleep without crying after hearing this news. Taehyung, I know you had kept it initially. When I was reading the paper and it said, I'm going to be a father, you smiled at that moment. And I know you hadn't slept a wink. Both smiled at each other and Taehyung kissed her again. After a few hours later, One was sitting on the couch working on a laptop. Then a phone rang and it's Miss Hari. One, hello Miss Hari. One, okay, don't worry. I will give you the money because I promised you. And I'm very firm on my word. I will give you the money in 3 days. She cuts the call and starts to think. Then she starts looking for Taehyung. Taehyung was sitting outside in the yard. One, Taehyung, he didn't reply and stared at the pool. One placed her hand on his shoulder and then Taehyung looked at her. One, are you okay? He nods. One sat beside him. Taehyung, I'm sorry, One. I'm not worthy of following your wishes anymore. Your dad was right. I shouldn't have ruined a life by marrying you, he said quietly, but once heart broke hearing Taehyung's voice. She holds his hand. One, Taehyung, why are you saying? One eyes filled with tears as she asks. Taehyung, I'm jobless, One, and nobody wants to hire me because I'm from. She hugs him tightly and starts to cry. She can't bear to see husband in such pain. She buries her face in his chest. One, why are you saying this? I know who you are and how are you. You don't need anyone else's perspective. Taehyung, One, you won't leave me, right? One break the hug and look at his face. One, why would I need to leave you? Taehyung, everyone is saying that I can't fulfill your wishes, so we will back to our parents' house. One, he tries to hold her hand but she jerks away. One, shut up, Taehyung. One yells. One, Mr. Kim, Taehyung, I have so much faith in you, but you don't even a little faith in me. She says, tears start streaming down her face. Taehyung shakes his head. Taehyung, no, One, actually dad called me and said that you will go to them. He warned me even before the marriage that I'm not right for you, he says looking down. Once dad, Mr. John, is also Taehyung's rival. They used to compete against each other in business competitions, but Mr. John doesn't engage in unethical work. He knows Taehyung wouldn't do anything wrong, but the media and evidence are all against Taehyung. Mr. John want to marry them because their company are opponent. Despite this, one still chose to marry Taehyung. Mr. John and his family are angry with them except for Wine's brother and sister. No one in their family talks to Taehyung. Next day, Taehyung, I want to sell this house. One suddenly enters the kitchen where Taehyung is cooking. One has her phone in her hand. Taehyung doesn't understand what One said. Taehyung, can you repeat what you just said? One, Lisa will call you back later. She hung up the call and looks at Taehyung. One, I'm sorry Taehyung. Actually, I promised to donate a lot of money to the orphanage and now I have to fulfill that promise. Taehyung, so you want to sell this house? One nods slowly, making a small pot. Taehyung, have you thought about where we will live then? Taehyung still doesn't want to sell the house because he loves the peaceful environment here. This house holds all his memories with One, and it was built by his dad during their wedding, perfectly matching his taste. One, Taehyung, please, with some of our money we can help those orphan kids. Taehyung, some money? One, do you realize this mansion is worth billions of dollars? One, yeah, I know Taehyung, but besides this we don't have any other option because there is no money in your bank account either. The money I used to pay the maids, driver and bills, and I even sold my jewelry to give some money to our investor. Taehyung heart breaks to hear this. One is trying to convince him to sell the house. One, and you're living in such a big mansion means we will have to pay huge bills every month, and even if I get a job, that money won't cover all our expenses. One says slowly looking down. Taehyung, okay. One looks at him and smiles. He forces a smile back. One, okay, now let's pack our luggage. Taehyung, what? Today? One, yes, I need to give them money in 2 days. Taehyung, have you thought where we will stay? One, of course, at your mom's house. This pretty huge mansion. Taehyung, but will you be able to stay there? Because it's far from the city up on the hill and there's a forest around the mansion. Why, it's okay Taehyung, it will be nice to stay in a nature oriented place for a few days. Taehyung thinks it's right decision because she is, and staying in a nature filled area would be beneficial for her. Plus she doesn't want Wayne to do job because she is, and if they stay away from the city she won't find any job there. Taehyung, okay. Later on, Wyan and Taehyung were about to leave home. They met the ones who were going to buy the house and they liked it. They will move in from tomorrow. So Wyan and Taehyung are leaving from here. Taehyung feels a bit sad about this house. Taehyung, when I will be successful again, I will buy this house again. He pauses and remembers their memories and laugh at him. One, come on, Tae. In 7 years, we will make even better memories somewhere else with our kids too. Taehyung's face lights up and he nods. At night, Wine and Taehyung were in the middle of the forest. Taehyung was driving the car and Wine was looking out the window. When Taehyung, does anyone live here? Since Wine and Taehyung arrived on this road, they have only seen a few very large, luxurious mansions. Taehyung, why this place is safe. Most of the homes are belong to celebrities as secret retreats. They secretly living here. Wine nods. Why does mom live here alone? Taehyung paused for some seconds. Taehyung, mom like this kind of place, that's why. Wine, so did you also live here during your childhood? Is there any school here? Taehyung looks at her, finding her question and curiosity cute, and a smile. Taehyung, no, when I was abroad during my childhood, I could spend some time with my family. One nods and sees a door to a graveyard on the road which looks very old. One, Taehyung, is there a graveyard here too? Taehyung, yeah, this is a graveyard. My dad's graveyard here too. Taehyung looked at the graveyard door for a moment while driving. Wine, it's very old and large, isn't it? Taehyung nodded. Taehyung, you are right. When I was little, I used to ask my dad and grandfather about it too. One felt a strange vibe. Taehyung, we have arrived. The security guards start to open the huge gate of the mansion and Taehyung parked the car inside. One, wow, Dad, this mansion is even bigger than our. One eyes widen as she visits Taehyung's parents' house for the first time. Taehyung, be careful or you might get lost in this house one day. Taehyung teases her, causing her to curl. Taehyung, it happened to me when I was a kid. When your mom lives here alone, Taehyung, I told you she preferred to be alone and she used to it. Mrs. Kim, welcome my children. Did you both have any trouble? She hugs both of them and asks, when? No mom. Mrs. Kim, both of you freshen up. When? And Taehyung nodded. One looked around the house, it's like a palace, but she feels a different negative vibe. The house is huge and it feels scary. One holds Taehyung's hand and Taehyung looked at her. When mom didn't tell us which room is ours. Taehyung, before marriage I used to stay here, so we will stay in my room, the one in front of the mom and dad's room. When you mean the room in front of mom's room? Taehyung nodded. Taehyung is reminded of his dad. At night, Wan was downstairs talking to Mrs. Kim while Taehyung was taking a shower upstairs. Taehyung was in the shower, but the tap kept turning off repeatedly. Taehyung kept turning it back on, but it kept turning off again. Suddenly, the bathroom door slammed open loudly and then closed shut. Taehyung flinched, thinking Wine might have accidentally opened it and then closed it upon seeing him. Some minutes later, Taehyung came downstairs after getting dressed and whispered to Wine, Taehyung, you don't have to slam the door shut so loudly. He smiled, but Wine looks confused. Wine, what are you talking about? She asked in confusion. Taehyung, I'm talking about the door. Wine, door, Taehyung said. Taehyung, don't pretend, Wine. I know it was you who slammed the door shut when you saw me showering. One didn't understand what he's saying, but she made a disgusted face. One, I didn't do anything like this day. You must have had a dream while bathing. I have been sitting here with mom since then, right mom? She nods when Wine asks this loudly. Taehyung thinks to himself, maybe it got closed due to the wind. Well, let's go to the dining area. Dinner is ready now. After dinner, Taehyung was wandering around in the mansion. Not all the lights were on, only a few provided him dim illumination. Leaving most areas in darkness, Taehyung was walking whistling, as he used to do, but suddenly he felt a cold hand on his shoulder, someone pressing down on it, but because of the hallway was so dark, he couldn't see anything. He thought someone was behind him. As he turned, there was no one there. He frowned, thinking maybe someone had ducked or hidden. So he turned on his phone's flashlight, but there was no one. His heart skipped a bit and he started walking faster, almost running away from there.